Alright, so it's time here for me to cut down some of my hop plants. As you can see by this one, maybe at the top, got quite a few cones on it, and they're kind of starting to go by here. So yeah, it's time to get these cut down. This line right here is Cascade, and the other ones aren't really quite ready yet, so which is good because I'll just do a couple at a time. I really don't want to set the scaffolding up in the truck just to get to the top of, you know, a couple of these binds. So I got my pole saw here, and I'm thinking maybe I can cut the string with that. And the ones that don't have any cones on them too, I'm just going to cut down because, I mean, this growing season's kind of over and they're getting dry anyway. So if they come back, they come back. If not, well, they'll be good for next year. Alright, I got my hop binds here that have cones on them. So these right here are what the hops are. This is actually a flower. So what I gotta do here is I got a drying rack, and what I do is I put this in the shop and I got a fan that goes underneath it. So what you gotta do is dry all these out, that way I can package them and actually use them in making beer. So it's kind of a tedious process. Luckily I don't have too many plants. You just kind of sit here and pick all the cones off. Oh, and if you're wondering too, I have long sleeves on even though it's 90 degrees out. These hop leaves are actually kind of rough on your skin. I don't know what it is about them. They don't make you itch per se, but they can scratch your arms. And it is kind of uncomfortable. I've had big scratches before, you know, up and down my arms. So I just wear long sleeves when I do this. Alright, so I got that one bind picked over pretty good, and keep doing some more. So what you're after here in these hops is this yellow, it's like a powder, it's called lupulin, and that's what gives your beer the hop flavoring and helps preserve it. So it's really that yellow powder, which is what you're after in these hop cones. Alright, so I got my drying rack here in the shop. I got all my cones in here. I got a box fan underneath this, and I put down a piece of cardboard just to kind of keep the dirt and the dust from the shop from getting in the cones. So the air from the box fan blows up and it acts as a, you know, it dries these cones out. So I'll let these sit for at least a day. I'll come back and check on them tomorrow and we'll see how dry they are. You can tell when they start to get a little, crispy, I guess. Alright, so we're here about 2 days later, I guess. My hops are all done drying out. You can kind of see on camera there as I move them around, the fan underneath kind of blows them all over, so you can tell they're pretty dry. Might be a little over dry actually. I probably should have packaged them yesterday, but I didn't really get to it. So yeah, these are pretty good here. So I'm just going to weigh these out here and I'll show you how I package them. Alright, so what I got here is just a little digital scale. I think they call them like kitchen scales or something. Just going to turn that on. And then here's the container I'm going to use to weigh them out. So I'm just going to zero that. Alright, so that right there is 1 ounce. So this right here is a vacuum sealer. You can use it for, anything like this. It's good if you want to, freeze meats or something like that. So I'm going to fill this up. Hopefully I can get at least maybe 3 ounces in here. I'm not too worried about contamination now too. I mean, in brewing you really want to keep everything as clean as possible. But with these I'm going to freeze them before I use them, so that should kill off anything that might, contaminate my beer. Alright, that's about a ½ ounce, so we got about 4½ ounces here. There you go, 4½ ounces of Cascade. Yeah, it's probably just enough for a smash beer I'll make. Single malt and a single hop. So I'll make a good 5-gallon batch out of that. Alright, so I'm done with the hop harvest for the year. This is what I got. I got 4 ounces of Nugget. I got 4½ ounces of Cascade. 1.8 ounces of Chinook. And 1.5 ounces of Magnum. So not a great year, but I'll be able to do something with this. I can definitely make a smash probably out of this Cascade. And then I have 1.5 ounces, 1.6 ounces from last year. I think that's what this is from, which is probably still good. It's been frozen. And I got some extra Magnum too, so I could probably make a single malt and single hop out of Cascade, which would be good. That'll be, what, almost 6 ounces there. And then the Magnum, I don't know how much is in here, but I could probably make something out of the Magnum and the Chinook. And then maybe another smash out of the Nugget. I don't know. But yeah, be on the lookout for some homegrown hop beers coming up. I'll probably use just my hops just to kind of be able to differentiate, hop varieties, and I'll know the hop flavoring in the beer will actually be mine. So yeah, that's the season.